Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zhang here, and today I'm back with another episode of Road to Ranked, where I climb the Online Series 9 ladder and provide live commentary as I go. Today we're using yet another wild team featuring Physical, Tapu Fini, and Swagger Tornadus. Of course, the idea behind this is that Tapu Fini sets up the Misty terrain. Your opponents are pretty much never going to expect you to be physical, and then you can go for Swagger, and with Misty terrain up, Fini doesn't take any confusion. You can of course also Swagger your other teammates like Stakataka and Urshifu as well. Urshifu, despite being Dark type, you can actually still go for self-prankster attacks on your own Dark type Pokemon. So you can Swagger Fini, Stakataka, and Urshifu. And the original creator of this team was the same one that built that physical Regieleki team and the special Zekrom team that we used in Series 8. So thank you to TSL Tang for the team. I've linked their Twitter down in the description below, as well as, of course, a rental for this team and a paste courtesy of them as well. So yeah, I'm really excited to try this team out. I think the creator said they were able to get to number 1 on the showdown ladder with this team, which is really, really awesome. And they were able to get quite high in the in-game ladder with this team as well. And so, yeah, I mean, I think once again, this is just like really wild element of surprise. Your opponents are basically never going to see Physical Fini coming their way. And Physical Fini can actually do some decent damage when Dynamax and at +2. So we'll see how many opponents we can really surprise with it. To round out the team, yeah, I mentioned the Urshifu and the Stakataka. You've got Raichu and Indeedee. This actually, you know, that duo reminds me a little bit of, I think, the Lapras team that I built in early Sword and Shield. You know, I like both of these a lot. You have Feint on the Raichu, Electro Web's great speed control. Indeedee here with the Helping Hand, also very valuable just because, you know, Fini, even at +2, probably can't pick up like every one-hit KO, right? And so Indeedee with Helping Hand there certainly will support it even further. And then Banded Urshifu just hits like an absolute truck. I feel like very few people expect choice band damage, and this when you get that extra added boost, it's always kind of a surprise because it just picks up a one-hit KO rather than, you know, missing a knockout by just a little bit. So let's jump into today's episode. Question of the day. You know, we've been playing Series 7/Series 9 for over 4 months now, between the 3 months of Series 7 and this last month. So I want to know how you're feeling about it now. Are you tired of the format? Are you bored? Are you still enjoying playing and watching? Let me know your answers in the comment section below. For me, I think, you know, there's still a lot of interesting teams and concepts out there. And, you know, Road to Ranked in general has been really, really fun because we've been able to cycle through brand new teams every 2 days. So I'm still having a lot of fun with it, but I'm not sure my answer would be the same if I were like preparing for Players Cup 4 right now, for example, which is, you know, more standard official tournament. But for ladder play and for making videos, I've certainly been enjoying it a lot. So yeah, either way, let's get started. All right, getting into our first match of the day. Okay, this is pretty cool. I mean, you've got Torkoal Venusaur, but then Dusclops T-Tar, so I wouldn't be surprised if it were Policy T-Tar, maybe like Bulldoze or Brick Break on Dusclops. Then Zapdos Dracovish. Okay, so we have Physical Fini, we have Tornadus, we have Stakataka, we have Urshifu. All of those seem like pretty solid brings to me. Raichu's like a little bit interesting here. But we don't have Nuzzle, so I don't think it really provides us that much value. I feel like if you're my opponent, you probably play towards Venusaur. I kind of want to go like Tornadus, Fini, Urshifu, Stakataka. Because what we can do if my opponent goes like Venusaur, we can probably survive a Vine Lash. We can go Swagger, Max Hailstorm, and just one-shot Venusaur. My opponent also has no Dark Resist, right? So Urshifu in the late game should be very powerful here. The only thing is that I think Indeedee could be pretty valuable just for a Follow Me. But I'm going to go with Tornadus and Fini. So we'll see how this goes. I mean, this is the whole reason I wanted to feature the team, right? All about swaggering the Fini. And I think it can be pretty good here. The only scary thing here is that Fini is also facing a bunch of big threats like Venusaur, like the Zapdos. So it's not like we can just completely sweep through with no problem without taking any damage. Otherwise, it would be too easy then. But let's get into the first game. And it's going to be T-Tar and Dracovish. Okay. I don't mind that too much. I mean, if we don't miss Swagger, it's a pretty free Swagger into Fini, Max Fini, Geyser, T-Tar, I think. I guess the fear is if the Dracovish is scarfed, like if Tornadus faints. Well, I don't know if Vicious Ren one-shots actually if I end up getting the Tailwind off first. It probably doesn't, right? Or sorry, not the Tailwind, the Swagger. Yeah, I'm kind of down to go for the Swagger play. I guess the thing is with Urshifu and Stakataka in the back, I just don't think Vicious Ren KOs Tornadus, so then I can just Tailwind the next turn. So I'm down to Swagger this turn, Tailwind next turn. My only fear here is if I miss Swagger on Fini and then I don't one-shot Tyranitar. I guess Tyranitar could max here too. Then the question is whether or not a +2 physical Max Geyser knocks out T-Tar. I'm not sure it does, to be honest, if it's Dynamaxed. I guess that's the one downside. Okay, but then as long... Well, I guess because I don't have... Because I don't have Protect on Urshifu or Stakataka. So maybe I should just Tailwind it to be like a little bit safer. But I feel like if you're my opponent, you should expect Calm Mind. Oh boy, they are maxing though. Okay, that's not good. Well, actually, I mean, this is pretty good counterplay to Calm Mind, right? You just max Rockfall. Yeah, okay. Well, time to find out how strong Tapu Fini can be. Hoping we hit the Swagger to start. But I'm just nervous about activating a T-Tar policy. Okay, Swagger connects, so that's good. My opponent's probably like, what? Right now. Okay. Substitute Dracovish. Okay. That is interesting. Alright, if Fini gets this one shot, that's already it for the episode. Like, I don't need to play anymore. Dude, what? Alright, that's it. We can just end the game there. We can just stop it here. That's it for Road to Rank. Thank you for tuning in today. No way. That is wild. Hey, bring out Venusaur. Yeah, I think this game's over already, to be honest, because we can just Tailwind Hailstorm now. I am at a loss for... I didn't think that would one-shot, to be honest. But I'm sorry for doubting you, Tapu Fini. That's why you use physical Tapu Fini. I mean, that just puts us in such a great position, right? Because my opponent's main threats to Fini were Venusaur and Zapdos. So if they're not bringing those out, they switch out Dracovish. Yeah, I think this game's over. Yeah, Torkoal switch it makes sense, right? Well, I got really laggy there for a second. The game heard me when I said it was over. Why is it so laggy? What is happening? Okay, they leave Storm, they don't KO. Okay, I closed some windows, hopefully that helps with the lag. Yeah, max Hailstorm. Nice. Okay, I think maybe it was just my windows lagging, or sorry, my Chrome tab open lagging things, but I have to feature this game, right? Fini's gonna pick up 4 KOs in 4 turns. The Leave Storm play was strong there. Like, my opponent didn't bring anything that really threatened Fini outside of Venusaur, so as soon as they didn't lead Venusaur, I felt like we'd be in a really good spot. They also didn't like lead Dusclops to pressure Trick Room, right? So like that was the other upside. If they went like Dusclops plus something, set up Trick Room, bring in T-Tar, activate T-Tar's policy, max Rockfall Fini, that could have gone really poorly for us. Alright, Dracovish comes back out. Yeah, I mean, now we just Tailwind. Oh, we already Tailwind, what am I saying? Let me just Air Slash and Starfall here. Yeah. I mean, I think the game was just over after turn 1, to be honest. Like, yeah, as soon as Tapu Fini gets that one shot on a Tyranitar. I mean, this once again is the beauty of using a surprise like this, and it's why it's super strong in best of 1. 1, your opponent's just never going to see it coming. And 2, it typically, since the team revolves so much around Tapu Fini, if you just get a knockout on a Dynamax Pokemon, it's actually very difficult to come back from, right? So in the Dynamax format, if you're able to find ways to pick up like a surprise knockout and it's on a Dynamax Pokemon, it can often just give you such a large advantage that your opponent basically just can't come back from. And Tapu Fini in general was very good in that matchup, so yeah. Alright, next match of the day. Okay, more Torkoal. I mean, this just looks great for Tapu Fini and Tornadus again, honestly. Definitely Torn Fini Urshifu. Who do I want as the last? Oh, probably Stakataka. Actually, there's no way it's not Stakataka. It's so good into their team. Yeah, in fact, I think, like, in a best of 3, I could see myself going, like, Torn Stakataka in game 2. Honestly, Torn Stakataka might have actually just been the better approach here, now that I look at it. Because, like, we can swagger the Stakataka, get it to +2 immediately, and then just really start steamrolling with it. So, like, that still could be the option based off how turn 1 plays out. But I think Fini's also very strong here, right? Yeah, and the main issue with Stakataka is I have to worry about, like, Life Orb Max Quake from Venusaur. I guess, like, I assume we survived G-Max Vine Lash from Venusaur. Because, like, that last game, Leaf Storm did, what, like, 50-ish? And, like, Vine Lash will do slightly more than that, but not enough to KO. So, yeah. Okay, let's see. I think Fini here, super strong. Stakataka, also super strong. Also, after the last game, I thought I'd fix the lag, but it was coming up again. So I reset my computer, and hopefully things will be a little bit better. Okay, T-Tar plus Venusaur. Well, it's definitely pretty similar to the last game. I think I'm just going to go Swagger Hailstorm turn 1 onto Venu. If Venu's out of the way, then Stakataka also has a very clean endgame. I guess the only issue here is I could take a lot of damage, like maybe even max Tyranitar. But like if I had led Stakataka here, I think I'd be a little bit nervous. I think the only other scary thing here is that Swagger only works out 85% of the time, right? It can miss, and so if it misses, like we're often going to just be in really bad shape. Let's see. Hopefully we can get the knockout onto the Max Venusaur. If they max, like ideally they switch T-Tar out into Torkoal, Max Venusaur, Vine Lash the Fini turn 1. Then we just one shot change the weather and should just be game over. Honestly, it's very difficult to come back from that. So, like the cool thing about this duo specifically is that like you really can just win the game immediately. But ooh, they're gonna do they're gonna switch the other way around. Okay. So if I had just Geysered into Tyranitar here, we'd be in great shape. But honestly, if we get the max... Well, no, now I have to play against the max Venu in the late game, I guess. So what's really a big question here is, did they protect the Tyranitar in turn 1? It's a nice play. Definitely a nice play by my opponent. Okay. Yeah, if Tyranitar protects turn 1, we're honestly still in really good shape. Oh, I guess the other thing to consider is Intimidate. Yeah, you normally don't think about that, but I don't think +1 Max Geyser would have KO'd Max Tyranitar anyway. And wow, they didn't protect T-Tar or max it, which I think is actually a really smart decision. Okay, so we'll get the Hailstorm off. Breaks a potential Sash on Tyranitar, however unlikely like that is. Okay, what do we want to do now? Protect Tornadus. I mean, they're probably going to Rock Slide here, right? Could be Dragon Dance. Go for Rock Slide. Tornadus actually dodges, which is really fortunate. Okay, Fini takes that. I don't think it would have KO'd since the Tornadus is pretty bulky, but, you know, that definitely helps us for sure. I don't need to protect here, right? Yeah, I'm down to just Tailwind and Geyser. I maybe could have Geysered Incineroar because Tyranitar switching out here into Venusaur seems like a pretty big possibility. But, okay, they don't switch out. So we'll get a KO onto T-Tar, which is nice. And then I can Tailwind next turn. Yeah, I'm curious how much Rock Slide would have done to us. But I think if you're not Life Orb or Choice Bandit, we would have survived. Okay, so Fini gets a KO there. Very nice. Now what? They bring Venusaur back in. I think their last one should be Torkoal, right? We have Stakataka, which does well into Incin plus Torkoal, so we really need to just handle the Venusaur, but that's easier said than done. Because I think you bring out... Oh! It's Porygon! Wow, okay, now that makes this very interesting. That is very interesting indeed. So I can just go for another Swagger onto Fini and just Geyser the Porygon. I would think +4 Max Geyser in Rain Life Orb KOs Porygon, but I'm not 100% sure about that, honestly. Like, this is still physical Tapu Fini. So no Torkoal here is really interesting. If I ended up just Geysering turn 1 into T-Tar, we would have just picked up a KO there, right? Incin would have been in, then we could have just Geysered the Incineroar slot, yeah. But I don't regret targeting Venusaur there, because I do think a lot of players would consider switching out, especially because like Fini typically isn't a very big threat. This turn was interesting, because I actually could have targeted the Venus, like if I just went Max Hailstorm on the Incin slot, like, you know, that'd be a win, basically. But it's really hard to make that read, and we're also ahead, right? So like, why play aggressively like that? Okay, let's see if +4 Life Orb Max Geyser and Rain's enough to knock out a Porygon 2. Dude, this team is wild. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, it's still not over though. My opponent can definitely pull off the comeback with Venusaur, so let's not get ahead of ourselves. But like the main thing here is that they can't change the weather, right? Meaning I'll just outspeed the Venusaur. Like we were lucky to dodge that Rock Slide. I'm curious if it would have not, if it would have one-shot Tornadus, then yeah, it definitely was a very big deal. Oh, we were only at +3, right, because of the Intimidate, but still enough to knock out Porygon, fortunately. Okay, we have Stakataka, Urshifu in the back. 2 turns of rain left, or sorry, 3 turns of rain left. No Tailwind yet. I think I'm just gonna go Tailwind and Protect here. My only fear is that like if you're Life Orb Venu plus Vine Lash plus Vine Lash through Protect plus the residual is enough to knock out Tapu Fini. That's my concern. Either way, this team is wild. Okay, so this should be Max Venu, which is still pretty scary, right? Like, but I think like Tornadus and a +2 Fini already do decently well into Venu, and I'll have Tailwind, I'll have Wicked Blow. This thing probably has Max Quake, so Stakataka feels like relatively useless. I guess I could have considered switching out Fini here, but I don't mind protecting Tailwinding. Because, like, I don't even think a Fake Out plus a Max Ooze knocks out Tornadus here. And they go for Fake Out into Fini. Okay, perfect. Nice. Yeah, there's very little reason to not protect Fini there, mainly because I knew I was going to survive Fake Out Ooze. So this is where the Rock Slide Miss comes in very in handy, right? Because if it had hit earlier, like, yeah, maybe we survive, but then I have to think twice about the play and make this next turn. Fini takes that pretty well, though, so not bad. As cool as it would be to go for like a Ice Punch onto Venusaur, I think the objectively correct play here is to just Waterfall, one-shot the Incineroar here. And we have Air Slash on the Tornadus. I guess my only fear is like activating a weakness policy, but I think we're just so far ahead that even if it is policy, we're fine. Because I can just Air Slash Waterfall. And we've already committed one turn of my opponent's Dynamax, which is a very big deal. So, we're in really good shape now. What is with the lag? I thought I fixed it. Oh, okay. I gotta figure out what's going on with my computer after today. It's not OBS either, so it's definitely it's my computer, or maybe it's my Switch. I'll probably try, like, just unplugging my Switch and resetting it. So, sorry about the lag issues today, but I just, these Fini sweeps were too good. I'm just very sad the lag came during these dominant, Tapu Fini plays. Okay, let me try stopping the recording and then resetting. Okay, so they're gonna knock out Fini here. Okay, fingers crossed. I thought I had fixed it and it was fine for the first like 5 minutes of that game, but then something started acting up. Okay, so they had Koba Berry. They went for Max Quake. We just ran out Stakataka here and then sacked the Stakataka to bring in Urshifu and then just banded Wicked Blow to beat Venusaur. It's a pretty clear path to victory here, I think. 2 turns of Tailwind, 2 turns of Tailwind. I just said that. 2 turns of Vine Lash is what I meant to say. I'm just going to Air Slash and Rock Slide here. We'll let them Max Quake Stakataka, then their Dynamax is over, Urshifu comes in, and a single Wicked Blow should just knock out Venusaur. So, yeah. Definitely lucky in this game that we had that dodge. And, but either way, I mean, Fini once again just put in a absolutely phenomenal performance, so I'm very pleased with it. I am just impressed by its damage output overall, and it's helped that I think we ran into 2 pretty favorable matchups here, like, in both. I think the cool thing about the Fini is that often people will Dynamax in front of it thinking they're safe, and so like my opponent, most of their main Pokemon would actually get one shot by Fini at +2 attack, right? Even when Dynamax, something like Venusaur, for example. So that was the upside. Really hoping no more lag issues come out, but yeah, I don't know. It's normally like OBS will show you if you're dropping frames, but OBS isn't telling me anything, so I'm guessing it's more my computer. Let me just double check. We still have Tailwind up, right? Yeah. Just want to confirm, although Venusaur I don't think should be outspeeding Urshifu anyway, so we should be good. But once again, a masterful performance by physical Tapu Fini, so really, really coming through here today. Get the knockout onto Venusaur. Very nice. Yeah, I think like it certainly helped we run into good matchups for the Fini, and like what's interesting is that both of my last opponents like had something that threatened Fini, like the Venusaur, like the Zapdos, but neither of those can one-shot Fini, and then Fini at +2 can, I think, one-shot in return against both of those. So that's kind of sweet. But as a, yeah, quick first 2 games, but a really, really fun first 2, and if anything, like that shows you just how strong this duo can be. So super, super pleased about it. But all right, going into the next game here, it is just a Venusaur day. It's just the Venusaur day. I mean, this is just Tornadus Fini for sure, and then I think Urshifu plus Stack. I don't think Raichu ever makes sense here, but Indeedee definitely like has some value. I just, yeah, okay, I'm down for this. The value of Indeedee, by the way, is just redirection, right? If I lose Tornadus, it's kind of like the Ryota team we just featured, where in that team it's like, oh, you enabled this one Pokemon, right? So then the partner Pokemon that supports it, which was Weavile on that previous team, faints. In this team, it's Tornadus, and then you get a free switch it into your Follow Me user, which can then enable your sweeper to just pick up like quick knockouts, right? By the way, after the last game, I paused because I was trying to figure out what was causing the lag. I don't know if this was it, but somehow, like, I have the Elgato capture card, and it has, like, the HDMI cable that you plug into your computer, as well as the USB, and so the HDMI cable apparently just wasn't plugged in, and I didn't even realize that I could, like, get my gameplay on the screen if that wasn't plugged in. So I'm gonna guess that may have been contributing to it, because OBS didn't say I was dropping any frames, and normally if my computer lags, like, everything lags, right? Like, my webcam would lag as well, but that was just the gameplay. So, I learned something new today. I'm guessing that was what was causing it. I just had no idea it was disconnected, and had no idea you could even play. Like, I didn't even realize I could display my capture card, or my Switch if that wasn't plugged in. So, yeah, lesson learned there. Let's get into the next game here, though. Alright, it's gonna be Landorus and Grimmsnarl. I mean, I'm just gonna... Oh, I guess they could fake out Max Rockfall turn 1. That just seems like a decent possibility. So I might want to just go... Oh, the other thing here is, like, Intimidate actually hurts us, right? I feel like I could just double protect turn 1, honestly. Like, I feel like we have a very good matchup here, so I shouldn't get greedy. Yeah, I'm just gonna double protect turn 1. If -1 Max Starfall still KOs Grimmsnarl, then that would have been the play, I think. Alright, they switch Landers out, that's fine by me. Into Venusaur, okay. Ooh, double switch, I like that. Alright, that's a nice play. That's a very nice play. Yeah, well... I was thinking about Hailstorming the Venusaur slot there. If I had done that, or sorry, the Landorus slot, if I had done that, I'd be in really good shape, but I didn't feel great about that. Like, -1 Hailstorm. Well, actually, maybe that was still fine. Like, what was my fear here? Man, I still want to go for... Oop, Swagger on the wrong thing. I still want to go for Swagger here onto Fini, but I don't know if +1 Hailstorm KOs. Well, let's find out. I don't think it does, but... Even if it doesn't, I change the weather, I should survive a Vine Lash, and then I can Tailwind next turn, right? So it's not that bad. Unless I guess Torkoal one-shots with Eruption even outside of Sun, which is a possibility. I would think Eruption doesn't one-shot, does like 90%, activates our Citrus Berry, and then we survive after Vine Lash damage as well. But nice play by my opponent turn 1. Especially because you normally don't expect Hailstorm, right? So the switch into from Lando into Venu covers for a Geyser into that slot as well. They're not maxing Venusaur. I guess that's a good thing, right? Or their Venusaur is not Chlorophyll? Can you even have another ability on Venusaur? Either way, I just, yeah, can't believe out of all the games we've had, just Venusaur after Venusaur after Venusaur. Alright. Tornadus is very clutch today. Doesn't miss a single Swagger so far, so that's nice. Are they sleep powdering? Wow. Okay, that's awesome. That is super good. Because, like, now what do you even have to threaten Fini with damage? It's Landorus, basically. They're probably expecting, like, a Fini protect that turn, but I had very little reason to protect there. Oh, it's so nice to just one-shot Venusaur there. Nice job, Fini. That's the other upside about Tapu Fini, right? You set up the Misty Terrain, so you never have to worry about a Sleep Powder onto the Tapu Fini slot, which means Venusaur's only 2 options really are to Sleep Powder the partner, or I guess 3 options. Leaf Storm Fini. Oh, and Burning Jealousy. They don't even have go for an Eruption. Okay, perfect. Great. Yeah, I mean, once again, like, this is just the type advantage of Fini, right? Oh, gosh, it's just so strong. It's just so strong. I'm, like, actually at a loss for words. Okay, they bring out Grimmsnarl. That's fine. We didn't set up Tailwind yet, so, like, that can be a little bit scary. A Stakataka, or sorry, not Stakataka. Urshifu can definitely still win this late game for my opponent. Sorry, not Urshifu, Landorus. I'm not using my words. I think we just try to wake up here. I don't really see that much upside to switching out into either of these. Yeah, and if we get a quick wake up, I think this game's just over, but it's still pretty far from over as of right now. I'm going to go for the Starfall into Grim. Because I can see Torkoal protecting here. I guess the thing is, I could just, if, like, maybe my opponent's like, oh, I'm so far behind in this game, I'm just going to hard switch Torkoal. Okay, yeah, they don't, though. So this is really good. Because Torkoal's useless from, like, yeah, they set up Reflect. Which is, you know, absolutely the correct play to make. So the question is then, do we one-shot Grimmsnarl? Let's see. Oh my goodness. I mean, Fini's attack stat isn't really that bad, so I guess I shouldn't be that surprised of it doing this much damage, but this is just wild. You can see how this team was able to get number 1 on the showdown ladder, right? Wow. Okay, so Landorus is their last one. I still even have another turn to Dynamax, but I'm at neutral attack now because they've intimidated me twice. Landorus is obviously going to max. Honestly, if you're my opponent, you should go for the knockout onto Tornadus this turn. So I could almost switch out Tornadus. Or they might just max Airstream Fini. Tailwind is correct here. Yeah, I'll Tailwind Hailstorm. The reason why I don't want to go for Swagger is because if I wake up and I don't use the turn to capitalize off a Tailwind, Landorus can snowball very quickly by going for max Airstream into Fini. Although, I guess you wouldn't knock out Tornadus, right? So, well, if they Airstream into Tornadus, yeah. If I'm in my opponent's shoes, I'm targeting Tornadus in this position because you have Reflect up. But the idea is that we have, like, if we get Tailwind up, Urshifu just, like, snowballs really quickly. And even if you KO Tornadus, like, Tornadus doesn't wake up, I still get Stakataka out, right? Which is pretty good for us. Oh, interesting decision to not max. Yeah, we get the way. Everything's going right for us today. This is, like, the best episode possible for Swagger, Fini, and Swagger, Tornadus, and Fini, so really can't get any better. Alright. That's just... feels unfair, almost. I've had some pretty, very favorable rolls throughout the last 3 games, though, right? I mean, Game 2, Rock Slide Dodge. Game 3, Turn 1 Wake. But that's why you stay in, right? Quite frankly, though, I don't know what my opponent was going for there. Because, like, even if I didn't wake up, they didn't max Landorus, so Hailstorm would have just one-shot Landorus there. I think he had to max Landorus in that turn, at least. I'm going to just go for another Swagger and a Waterfall. But, wow, I mean, this duo is wild. Now, the thing is, unfortunately, I think, you know, like, this team isn't super common right now, right? But after Road to Rank, like, some people will recognize it. So if you're trying out this team, I'm not sure, you'll have as high of a success rate, just because I'm recording this at a time where no one knows the team, and, like, this is one of the teams that I think does rely very heavily on, like, the element of surprise, but it has certainly paid off for us, and we've had 3 very fast games, so let's just keep going. Somehow, we're 4 for 4 on Venusaur. But this is a more, Trick Room-oriented team. So Stakataka is actually very good here, but I don't know if I want to max, or I don't know if I want to lead it. I could just go Tornadus Stakataka. I'm kind of down for Tornadus Fini, and depending on their lead, just switch out into Stakataka. And I'm going to go with Indeedee in this one, because I think redirection support is actually really valuable for us. But yeah. I thought I fixed my lag issues, but then it started happening again, so I really got to get down to... to figure out, like, what actually caused it. Because, yeah, I thought it was because the HDMI was unplugged, but I think I'm just gonna finish this episode and then do a hard reset. But let's just, let's just finish things off. I mean, either way, this has been... Hey, Fini has definitely put in a very, very impressive show, so I'm certainly happy about that. Okay. So what's the goal here? What are they gonna lead? Indeedee, Indeedee plus Hatterene, Liepard plus Hatterene. Both of those are fine. What's really interesting if you go Liepard plus Hat is I could just switch Fini out into Stakataka, Swagger the Stakataka. It's kind of like a game-winning play on turn 1, quite frankly, if we hit. Because then if you max guard, yeah, Hatterene just faints on turn 2. The Stakataka under Trick Room looks amazing here, so I'm almost trying to bait my opponent to set it up so then I can max Stakataka, because I'd rather max Stakataka than Fini here. Alright. Please no lag. Venu and Indeedee. That's a very good lead by them. Yeah, that is a super strong lead. I actually don't know if I can beat that. Oh, well done. Yeah, they identified, like, absolutely the best lead. That's such a smart lead for so many different reasons. Yeah, there's, like, covers for everything I could have wanted even to go for. Man, how do I even approach this then? I could still swagger. Maybe I just go for the knockout onto Indeedee anyway. Because they're not really playing towards Trick Room, obviously, with this core. Like, it's Indeedee, Venu, Torkoal, and then I would guess Porygon. Maybe Hatterene. Okay, I'm just gonna go for swagger. Oh, we don't have the terrain up. I can't do that. Yeah, this is looking really rough. All right. Yeah, way to identify that lead. Really, really well done. I didn't even see Venusaur plus Indeedee, quite frankly, like as a lead, just because I was so focused on Liepard plus Indeedee, or sorry, Liepard plus Hatterene, or Hatterene plus Indeedee. Okay. Yeah, I think the way we win this is maybe stall out their Trick Room and then max Stakataka, get a swagger on it, and then just pick up like 3 KOs in 3 turns. It's really the best thing I can come up with right now. Well, glad I didn't at least like swagger Fini. Confuse myself under yeah, just confuse myself. I think you just follow me here. You could Helping Hand Vine Lash as well, but follow me is just so safe, right? Yeah. And how do I counter Venu plus... I think I had to lead Indeedee. But even if I lead Indeedee, like, what do I lead it with? My Stakataka? That doesn't feel great. So the upside for us is that at least I have Expanding Force this next turn, right? So I can switch Fini out into Tornadus and Expanding Force. I can even make the really wild play of maxing maxing Indeedee. No, I'm not going to do that. Yeah, I'm just an Expanding Force switch out here. The lag is back. It's my Switch. It's definitely my Switch. It's because it's not my computer. Wow, I've never seen a Switch lag like that. Actually, I can't say definitely. Yeah, nice max Quake. Oh, I could have switched it around the other way. Also, if I maxed Indeedee there, that like actually maybe could have worked, but whatever. I don't think we knock out Venu after a special defense boost anyway. Okay. And they're just gonna go for their own Expanding Force. Yeah, they played this really well so far. Because I take so much Vine Lash. I don't think I can come back from this. Because the main problem is it's redirection plus something that threatened Tapu Fini, plus them changing terrain. In fact, like their lead was literally just the best possible lead against what I led specifically. And like I said, I just didn't even identify it as like a major problem in team preview. So, alright, let's think about the game and how we can win still, because I don't want to focus on analyzing what we could have done when we can still win the game. Okay, okay, wait, hold on. Physical Fini can still very easily claw us back into this one, right? So we sack Indeedee here. Yeah, we sack Indeedee, we protect Tornadus, because then I get Fini back in, and then I can... but then they can just redirect Swagger away, right? Yeah, that's a problem too. So then I'd probably go for Tailwind plus Geyser. Try to one-shot the Indeedee. Yeah, they're playing this perfectly, like lights out. Maybe I should have Tailwinded it this turn then. Yeah, okay, this lag is like pretty unbearable. I wish I knew what was causing it. Hopefully it's, yeah, I'm really sorry for the lag today. It doesn't, like, it's only been, like, you know, a couple seconds here and there, but it does kind of ruin the experience, so I do apologize. Yeah, now they're even at +1 special attack. I think our hope is for a throw. If for some reason you don't go for a follow me here. And I basically managed to cheese by going for Tailwind plus max Hailstorm onto Venusaur. Okay. But I think if they just go follow me, Leaf Storm onto Fini, the game's over. I guess I gotta play towards Stakataka, max stack. And then what? They're just gonna follow me anyway. Okay, nice. Yeah, my opponent played this perfectly. But I can't be sad. Like, they played this really well. I don't think I would have done a single thing different. Maybe instead of Quaking on turn 2. But, like, the Quake was a smart play, too, because it just covers for any option I could have gone for. Yeah, that doesn't KO. But that's fine. Like, when you're so far behind, like I am in this game, you basically have to hope for your opponent to mess up. And if they play well, they'll just end up winning. And that's exactly what they did. Ooh, although they Sludge Bombed. If I had Geysered there... Nah, I still don't really think I could win. Well, maybe. If I had Geysered, we would have knocked out the Indeedee. And then it's Physical Fini into my opponent's team in this endgame. Huh. Okay, wait, this game is actually not over yet. I also see another out. Which is Max Guard. They're probably going to Earth Power Stakataka, but I don't have Protect on stack, right? So, like, I kind of have to go for this. If they Earth Power into Stakataka, they always just win the game outright. So it's like, might as well try to find a play that can allow us to win, which was them Leaf Storming and going for Follow Me. I don't know, if I Geysered last turn, we actually might have had a shot. Because, like, yeah, Stakataka is actually really good into the end game on my opponent's side, right? Okay, they go for Follow Me. I mean, it should be Follow Me Earth Power here always, but maybe they... Yeah, okay. Yeah, if I had Geysered Indeedee last turn, I didn't think about, like, using Stakataka in the end game, because if Venusaur faints, Fini plus Stakataka, like, then Fini outspeeds Venusaur. I can just Hailstorm the Venusaur afterwards, and then Stakataka can deal with everything in the end game. So, yeah, I actually don't think I needed to, like, play for my opponent making a mistake. I actually think I could have just played towards the Stakataka end game, and I didn't think about that very hard. Mainly because my opponent just built, like, what felt like such a big lead. But, yeah, their Stakataka answers are really poor, right? It would, like, there's really not much to deal with Stakataka at all. So all I need to do is knock out the Indeedee first, and then I can knock out Venusaur. Especially because I guess I was expecting them to Leaf Storm Fini rather than Sludge Bomb Tornadus, right? But it makes sense for them to knock out Tornadus because Tornadus threatens Venusaur with a flying type attack. So this game actually could have been completely different if I thought a little bit harder to knock out Indeedee and then play towards Stakataka as the end game. Because when we were going into this game, I was like, hey, Stakataka is really, really good. But yeah, I then didn't really play towards it well enough in the end game because, like, my plans kind of got derailed based off the lead. So this is one in which, like, actually I think, like, we had a pretty decent matchup. I just, like, didn't realize that we had the good matchup, especially because I was getting, like, blown out in the first couple of turns. My opponent just, like, played pretty much perfectly. Yeah, and they, you know, great job to not, like, target the Fini carelessly and then, yeah, get the knockout onto Stakataka, basically ensuring them the game. So if I were to replay that, I would definitely have just gone for Geyser onto Indeedee. Geyser into Indeedee and Tailwind there, because then we get the KO, we change the weather, I get Stakataka out, then I outspeed the Venusaur, so we can one-shot Venusaur with Max Hailstorm, and then I think Stakataka could just win that end game. I mean, the only thing that actually even threatens Stakataka remotely, well, I guess there's two things. Body Press / Earth Powered Torkoal, and then Foul Play Liepard. So it's not like it was like a guaranteed win, but I didn't realize how good our late game comeback potential was until it was too late. So I just needed to knock out Indeedee there, and we would have been better. Anyway, yeah, kind of a shorter episode. We did have 4 games. The games were pretty quick, but I think I'm going to end it here just because I want to figure out why I am lagging at all. I thought I had figured it out, but apparently not. So sorry you guys had to hear me talk about it throughout the course of the episode. Apologies for the lag as well. But still, I mean, I thought the games were really fun, so happy to get some really fun games in with the, yeah, crazy Fini set. And somehow we went 4. I was going to say, like, it's been a while since we went up against Sun, and then we end up playing against so many different Sun teams. So, yeah. Anyway, that is going to be it for this one. So thank you to TSL Tang once again for the team. Check them out, linked in the description below. Rental and paste also attached. Leave a like if you enjoy, and I'll see you all next time. All right, peace.